Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Thursday, February 5th, 2015. Okay, in yesterday's announcements, the unemployment report didn't come in quite as well as expected. The other potentially market-affecting announcements were later in the morning with the non-manufacturing index and petroleum status report. Both came in, right around what the expectation was. So there were no surprises there. For today, we have international trade, jobless claims from the government, and productivity costs. And then a couple of lesser ones in the back here, the Fed balance sheet. Might take a look at that for tomorrow. And then biggie tomorrow is, of course, the January unemployment number that everybody just hangs on and talks about for days after it comes out, good or bad, but pretty much meaningless, I would say. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on across the ponds over in Asia. They're almost closed, and they are mixed pretty much to the bearish side, I would say, leaning that way anyway. Europe is negative almost across the board, even though we have this sub-headline here of stock futures point to rebound as investors shrug off Greece. Yeah, so what? So they're in debt. Everybody's in debt. Who cares? Just print more money. Everything's gonna be just fine. On the earnings wall, Twitter, LinkedIn, and GoPro. Let's take a look and see what else they have up here. I don't think I've ever looked at this before. Whoa, wow, this is something else here. This is pretty cool. Oh, man. Oh, I see. It's posted all the way across here. Expedia, News Corp, Sprint, Twitter, Yelp, Pandora. Is there anything further down? I don't think so. I think just these scroll individually here. You have a little tiny scroll bar over here. Well, that's pretty neat. I don't think I ever looked at that before. I may have to do that during the earnings season. How about we make that a regular part, even though most of these aren't even on our list, but some of them will look interesting. All right, let's go back to Market Watch here. All this volatility equals a big fat nothing. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I haven't been trading much, and it's confusing, while we have earnings season. So that's for the regular stocks. As far as the cash indexes are concerned, they've just been kind of wiggling around, and I think I'm going to have to change my philosophy a little bit. You might want to watch out here if you are looking at, if you are retired, as I am. It's not really all that bad what he's planning on doing, but he is planning on chipping away at I guess, benefits of having IRAs and Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs, and even annuities. Okay, so I think we're done there. I'm just going to close this down and see if my fan will stop running a little bit, because the fan on my laptop just runs all the time. But I put my coffee next to the outlet so the coffee stays warm. So it's sort of like a coffee heater, I guess you might say. All right, so over here, I'm going to highlight the VIX here. Over here in the U.S., that's right, looks like we're going to have a nice pop this morning. And VIX is at 1833. But here's an interesting thing here. I want to take a look at this here for a moment. look at the S&P futures. As soon as this responds for me here, there we go. So look at this. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Where are the trade opportunities here? Well, if we follow our rules, there's not many. But I think that we're just going to have to just get in there more frequently, because I believe, anyway, that, you know, if you do something at a 30 delta and you're only looking for, say it's $1 or $1.50, and you're only looking to get, you know, 50 cents or 60 cents out of it, which is $60. You know, if you can't sneeze at that, then you should just do it and give that a try and see how that works out. I mean, when you see a top like this, what do you think you should do? The same thing happened here. So here we have big green bar up, red bar down, green bar up, red bar down, big green bar up, red bar down, green bar up. Well, we're probably not going to get a red bar down here. Probably going to get something to move up out of here, which will break through. Remember, on SPX, we'll break through that trend line that I put in for resistance. So it's probably going to break through this today. So that's another indicator. We did get the hook down here, but not on the MACD. So no go yesterday. Big hit in the afternoon. Actually, it would have been a pretty nice day if it hadn't been for this hit. So, got to get more trades in here. Especially during earnings season, I have to hit the cash indexes more. So we have to adjust the rules. I'm not saying bending the rules or anything. I'm just saying adjust the rules according to market conditions. And that's what we might have to do here. So I might get a little bit more aggressive on that. And then to go over here and take a look at Priceline, I don't know, maybe I've taken enough of a beating on this. Let's look on the Analyze tab at the risk profile for Priceline. Yeah, well, if the price would drop a little bit today, it would help me in my loss. If it actually moves down today, and I don't know if it's going to or not because the market's going to move up, we can't tell anything from this because this bid ask is just way too wide in order to be able to tell anything from this. We may have to just figure out if we're going to stay in this and risk tomorrow or not. Alright, so let's start out here with the A+ list. And we'll finish this scan up as quick as we can. You know, Apple's looking pretty good here for a move up. It won't even come down and give us an entry. Dirty little rat. Amazon, I mean, you could quite possibly chase these. I'm sure Amazon is definitely in an uptrend. So, oops. Change this out here. So we're looking for stochastic to come down around here to give us an entry. Or we could just say, you know what, this is going. So if we were to, let's say we wanted to pick out a trade for tomorrow around a 30 delta. This is 29 right now. It'll be changed after the open, but right now 360 is a 29 delta. If we were to look here at 360, that's way down here. Oops, no, it's up here. So, you know, for an overnight trade, you think it's gonna, you want to take a chance? What are we looking at here? 360. Oh, there we go. Looking at, so that's a 5 to 1, roughly, 57 cents on a 250 spread. So it's roughly 5 to 1. It's actually 4 to 1 if you count the credit, because you're risking 200 roughly to make 50. So that's really like a 4 to 1 if you count the credit. And you probably should, because you're really only risking 200. That may be a viable trade. So I would say probably the same thing for Apple. Let's see here. Right now we're looking at a 25 delta, and if it moves up today, we might have to go up to the 119 strike. That's 22 cents on a dollar spread. So pretty much the same. You're risking roughly 80 cents to make 20 cents. That's like a 4-to-1 as well. Funny how that works out, huh? You're looking at like a 30 delta and you usually end up with a 4-to-1 risk reward, which isn't too bad. So might think about that on that. So I'm going to put them down, not in my setup part or anything, just thinking about overnight momentum trades. Okay, we need to go to the chart here. Boeing, it's not giving us an entry either. Let's take a look at Alibaba. I saw something about them looking at using drone delivery too. Are we headed down? We could be. So what if we did a 30 delta on that? What would we be looking at? We would be looking at 21 cents, about the same thing. So that could be another trade that we could do. Alright, so Baidu. Oh, let's see here. Baidu. Earnings coming up. Pass. Chipotle, did they have their earnings? Or did they have their earnings? Ooh, they must have had their earnings. 378, actual 384. Nobody liked it. Must be. Must have to do with the future, what they think about the future. That's very unusual for Chipotle. So we had, did we have a straddle going on there? We were looking at getting out of it yesterday, and I was trying to figure out what was wrong here, and then I had to leave. So it looked like it was profitable yesterday, and I locked these prices in. So if I was to sell this very same one yesterday, I could only have sold it for $37.70, and I think the problem was in the spread. So look at the spread here between the bid and the ask. The calculations done in here are done at midpoint, and chances of getting midpoint when you want to close out a trade. When you want to open one, especially if you're selling, it's pretty easy to get midpoint, but when you're buying, then it's a little bit rougher. But regardless, this number in here is based on a midpoint, and it's a little bit deceiving. So, supposedly this would have been profitable. I'd say maybe, sell your call and hang on to your put for a while, for another day. Maybe that would be the answer to this, but regardless, earnings plays, don't really like doing them. Don't like doing them at all. So for today, though, because there still looks to be a lot of, well, not a lot of implied vote. No, there's not a lot here. We're still looking at 90-some% here on these. So there's some juice left here. We could even pick out, like, say, a 690. Let's see how that goes today. Maybe a 690 for an overnight trade. I don't think it's going to move up any higher than that, do you? I think that would be a good trade. Yes. And then Costco, let's see if it's still screaming here. Yeah, people are still buying it. Costco, a good overnight trade too. It's in the 85 percentile range still, so that's a pretty good deal there. What happened to my percentile thing? Is there not enough room for it or something? No? It's not there. Let me put it up there. There we go. I don't know why it was gone. Okay, so we're at 86. I didn't even notice it was gone. It's off, and I look at it. I don't know how long it's been gone. I'm a little less interested in the weekly here. To squish that one over a little bit more and even these two out. Okay. All right. Here's this dividend. 35 cents. That's a pretty decent dividend. Maybe same thing here in Costco. I should have done that yesterday. Forgot all about it. So when to get in on these? If I have a bunch of them now, almost everything so far on the A+ list for overnight momentum trades. Do we want to get in? I think we need to. Well, I mean, if you can get in early on some of these and take advantage of the initial surge, that might be a good thing. So that's what I'm going to do. Never trade between 9:30 and 10. Well, this might be a little bit different. So we're going to see. We'll see how things work out. And I can't say definitively because I can't predict the future anyway, any more than anybody else can. All right, here's the Dow. Pretty much has this resistance line here too. Same thing as SPX, so we're going to see if we can get a breakout on that. Alright, so we have gold sitting here. I think we're still doing pretty well with our covered call on that. Google. Google, what are you doing, Google? I don't know. I don't really have... We're tipped down here. We're still kind of in a downtrend. Look at yesterday. Wow. I just might slap something on Google here overnight too, especially if it starts moving down. Alright, let's take a look at LinkedIn. I think we saw that they have earnings today. Aftermarket. So we'll just leave that alone. Let's take a look at NDX. I had an alert set in here to jump in on this puppy. We didn't get our hook, so I'll just leave that alert there. I doubt that it's going to be triggered today. And let's go back here for a second. Is there an opportunity here? Since this is our first cash index that we're looking at today, is there an opportunity here? No, I'm not. No. Need to wait and see if it's going to break out of here, because this is the same kind of trend line here. So if we're going to end up breaking out of that, then we're in a new uptrend. I would think that would kind of tell us that. And then there's Netflix. Let's take a look at the Analyze tab here, the risk profile. Still in kind of the meaty area here. As long as this white line stays pumped up here, I think I'm going to let this one ride one more day. That's what I would do. Just wait and see. I mean, it's still not too bad. In theory, it's only down 90. So if you wanted to do an opposite trade, analyze opposite trade. So that's how you can tell. I don't know that you would get this price or not, but if you wanted to close this, you would have to buy it back for $310. And that is $90 roughly. So that's what it comes out to up here too. So we'll unlock that one and we'll keep an eye on that. Is there anything for us there? I don't see anything. I don't see momentum here is what I'm not seeing. There's not a lot of it. A lot of momentum heading down. Take a peek at OEX. So hang in on Netflix one more day. Same thing here on OEX. Same trend line. Let's see if we're going to break out of it. I wouldn't do a cash index for tonight. Definitely not. Priceline has earnings coming up. This is the trade that I'm in right now. I'm going to keep an eye on it for today. We do have this alert sitting here, so we'll see how it works out. The Russell, sort of the same kind of trend line. Looks a tad stronger than the rest of the indexes, actually. Didn't quite have that big surge on this final candle yesterday as like the rest of them. So it's kind of hanging in there. If I was going to take an overnight bet on this, it would be on the bullish side, but I'm not going to. But just for kicks, let's take a look. Oh, this expires tonight. Or tomorrow morning. So we're not going to do anything on that anyway. SPX, however, has one more day on the weeklies. And if I was a betting man, which anybody is that trades, you're taking bets and you're trying to beat the house, but you're better off being a house if you're a net seller than you are the house. So in theory you should be making out, but I'm not touching this one. Tesla has earnings next week, and Visa, they were on our list yesterday, right? They were supposed to move down. You can see how well they moved down. So much for that, and they didn't really partake in the negativity from yesterday, so Visa might be something, an overnight bull put on that too could be a good thing. And we would be looking at Delta. Ooh, I don't like these. That's way too close for a 30 Delta. You're almost at the money because of the 250 spreads. I don't like that. That's the thing. I think I did take a look at this yesterday, and I did not like the bid-ask spread. I couldn't get a decent trade in there, so you have to kind of be careful with that. I don't like, if you're looking at the listed strikes here and you're looking at 30 Delta and it's not at least a couple away from the money, then they should have maybe closer ones here. If we were to take a look at something like, let's take a look at Apple. See, Apple has dollar width on their strikes, so you can get you can tune it a little bit finer, if you know what I mean. Although this isn't looking too good though either. Yeah, Amazon looks better because our 30 Delta is 2 out of the money, so that feels a little bit better. It might just be where the current strike or where the current price of the underlying is right now that has this happening, where this 30 is 2 out, and it may actually end up just 1 out today. We'll have to see. But the nice thing about not doing a 50-50, and some of these I might do a 50 or 1-to-1 at a 50 Delta. I might do that today on some of these. We'll just have to see how things work out and where everything's headed. And the time depreciation, if it moves out of the money, is going to be so rapid that if you put in, a limit order to close a trade at a 50% profit level, that may happen by this afternoon without the price doing much of anything. So that would be the beauty of it. That's why I kind of like Thursday trading. Wednesday's the favorite. Thursday's the second favorite. So let's take a look at that for today. This is kind of long, but Well, we'll see what happens. A little bit of thinking a tad out of the box for me anyway. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend and happy trading.